everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits. Happy New Year. I hope you had a really nice holiday season. I hope you stayed cozy. I hope it was somewhat relaxing. I'm sure you can relate. This past week has been like the in-between days of like, now it's the new year, but you know, before that it was like, is it a Wednesday? What's going on? I still, I work from home and I do freelance graphic design. And so I was, working and my whole family's here and everything's very busy and kind of noisy and fun. But yeah, there's just a lot still going on and we haven't quite settled back into our regular routine. I have one more family holiday this weekend. So I'm gonna go see my family up north. And then we will finally wrap up all the holiday festivities, but it's been a good one. So the most fun thing this week was on New Year's Day, my favorite local yarn shop, Black Sheep Craft Shop, hosted a January 1st kind of knitting party where we could cast on a new project, come hang out in the shop. We all brought snacks. It was like a snack potluck. And yeah, it was like the best way for a knitter to start a new year. A lot of us were casting on new things or just working on whatever we had. It's a great chance to see local friends. And so that was just like the best way to start a new year. So for the new year, I somehow ended up casting on 3 things. And you can laugh at me if you want. I can't help it. But part of it is because I just finished all my knit collage projects for spring. And so that freed up like my brain and I got excited and there's just like a million things I want to do. It's a fresh year. I can't be stopped. So yeah, Erica and I met up a week before, a weekend ago. I do not know what day, time, when that was. We met up and casted on Shaun by Isabel Kraemer. We both started that together. I'll show all this in a little bit. But so that was kind of our New Year cast-on because we didn't think we'd probably see each other or hang out again until later. But then we ended up both being at the New Year cast-on. So we did cast on other things that day too. She did too. Like she was casting on, maybe she did 3 things too. We both were like, let's go. So yeah, it was a lot of like cast on excitement for the new year and I'm not sad about it. And I'll show you all of that in a bit. But first, and I don't really do necessarily New Year's resolutions. Like I'll have like plans and goals, but I don't know. I don't take it too seriously and I'm a little bit flexible about it. My only real thing that I really need to do is handle Figgy back here, my fiddle leaf fig, which if you could see the top, it's growing into the ceiling. And Figgy was moved up to this corner when we had the Christmas tree back here. We have de-Christmasified, if you can tell. De-Christmasified? I don't know. So Figgy's back in Figgy's normal spot, but I need to prune Figgy big time and give him like a haircut. The only thing that's been holding me back, and this has been months, and I know some people that watch here are very concerned about Figgy and have been wanting me to do this forever, and I'm going to do it soon. I just have to find a bucket to put the top piece in so I can grow a new fiddle leaf fig. So that's holding me back. Anyway, that was one of my goals for the month. We've been doing some cleaning out of the kids' rooms and stuff like that. That's always like, we did some of that yesterday. But another thing is taking care of my body and self-care and just little things to like relax at home and make things a little bit better. And so part of that is the sponsor of today's video. Bob and Brad sent me this EZBack Pro back massager. And I have to share because it's pretty amazing, especially for us knitters who sit for long periods of time. And, we all are supposed to take breaks and stuff, but this is a really nice way to kind of help your back and give you some relief while you're sitting and knitting with a little bit of heat, which is so nice in the winter. So let me show you a little bit about this back massager because it's actually pretty great. So this is the EZBack Pro back massager by Bob and Brad. It covers your whole back, which is so nice. So I can use this on the couch back here, on that couch back there. It also has a back strap so you can fit this over the back of a chair. So if I want to do it right here on these chairs, it totally works with that. and you can kind of adjust it to kind of fit your back, but really it is back size. And so it's going to work all your back muscles. And I especially have trouble with my lower back. I actually have one leg that's quite a bit shorter than the other leg. So I have low back pain all the time. So this is such a relief for that especially. But yeah, it comes with a little remote and it has different settings. There is a heat setting. There is a spot massage setting, so you can set it, like if you want it in one spot, it will stay. But the coolest thing about this is it has an up and down glide and spot focus. And so it feels like someone's like thumbs or knuckles like really getting into your knots. Like it really does, not in a harsh way, but it really works. If there's an area that's bugging you, it will work out the knots, because I have been using this and I found out it actually works. It's also very lightweight and portable, and it has this little handle so you can, you know, carry it from room to room or take it with you. It's very easy to take and it's very flat. It's not like big and cumbersome. And so yeah, I've really been loving it. So these move up and down this entire area. And so if you want that, you can set it to move up and down your back, and it has like a cycle that it goes through. You can turn on the heat, and then like I said, you can freeze it in one spot. If you just want to keep focusing on one area, it will stay there and keep massaging that spot. And yeah, it's kind of amazing. So let me just show you. So I'm just going to show you the massager on my couch, which is where I commonly sit and knit. And I'm going to knit one of my many cast-on projects. But here's how it works. There is a little remote on the side that fits in this handy little pocket right here. So, and it's connected. It's not gonna like get lost or anything, which is nice. And then you just use these controls to turn it on. You just hold this button down and then everything lights up and you can see all the settings and you can see the massager and where it's going and how it's working. So you can see it moving up your back and then back down. And I always put on the heat setting, which is this little red button. So it's nice and warm, like a heating pad, but like a massage heating pad. And then the second button is if I wanted to target and leave this in this spot. So let's say I want mid back, then it will stay here and keep massaging that certain area. And if I want it to move up and down, I go back to the top button that says M, and it goes up and down on your back, which feels very, very nice. And so super easy to use, and the remote just stays right here. And let's try it. The EZBack Pro from Bob and Brad feels like real hands-on work, not just vibration on the surface. It's designed by physical therapists, so it's meant to target muscles the way a therapist would, especially along your spine. It gets deeper than most massagers I've tried, especially in those spots between my shoulder blades and lower back. I love how the shape of this massager flexes with you, so it works whether I'm sitting at my desk chair or on the couch or even lying down. I love that I don't have to stop what I'm doing. I can use it while I'm working, crafting, knitting, or just winding down at night. Two other really nice things is, number one, it's really quiet. So this is what it sounds like. It's not disturbing to anyone else. You can, have this on your back while you're watching a movie. You can barely hear it at all. And it's not so rough that you can't knit while you're using it. So I can easily have this on my back, and it is really working out the knots in my lower back and easing that pain, and using like heat therapy, which just feels so good in the winter. And I can still work on my project and it doesn't like jostle me around or bump anything. It's not like vibration or anything like that. And so I'm not like dropping stitches while I'm using this. You can get 10% off your EZBack Pro by using my link below and the code BOBBRADBACK. And I'll put all that info in the show notes below. And thank you to Bob and Brad for sponsoring this video. Okay, do you want to see what I've been casting on? Let's go hang out with Erica. We hung out before New Year's Day, then we hung out on New Year's Day. But let's go to the first hangout where we both cast on Shaun sweaters by Isabel Kraemer over coffee. Let's go.
That the heel doesn't line up perfectly, but that's just me being extra.
What do you mean? It does. It totally does.
No, because you have more blue here.
Oh, barely.
Because I started.
Matter.
I started. I knew it was going to end up like that, but I didn't want to rip out this much of the yarn repeat for management, but
perfect.
Otherwise, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's so perfect.
Okay, can I see your traveler again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Look how far. She just started this traveler, and she's already on a sleeve. And that is no joke.
It a long time ago.
No, I don't think you did. I think you started it like after Thanksgiving.
Oh, no.
I mean, just like 2 weeks ago, I feel like.
I don't know. But
yeah, no, you did.
Moving along.
Really great. And that's that lavender loon yarn. Woollen Affair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So great.
I think it's going to be great. It'll accordion out so it's an adult size.
For sure. No, it looks perfect.
It is pretty cute though as like a super crop top. I put it on.
I love it. I want to make one. I love it.
And I think it's going to grow like width-wise.
Sure.
It's got a lot of stretch to it because I wanted that like oversized kind of boxy.
It's great.
Also, this came a pair of socks of Ian's.
Oh,
so
I love those.
This is an oldie. We are not nice to our socks. We just throw them in the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
And so
that's me too.
I've already replaced this footbed once. And so this one, I'm all out of the stripy yarn, but I'm using this tweed yarn that, remember I got for free at Palooza for wearing all pink.
You caught it, yeah.
So it's perfect. It'll be kind of a Franken sock, but he said he was fine with that, and then I gotta fix the heel.
Oh, that's awesome. They're like beloved socks.
I know, he loves this colorway so much. He wears these too.
I'm excited. We're casting on Shaun by Isabel Kraemer. I bought this Prada Delana at Rhinebeck, and then I got Issayer to mohair to hold with it, and I had to swatch a bunch of different ways last night because this is very fragile, and it comes off in 2 strands. And if I was not wanting to do 2 strands, I'd have to unwind it and do 2 individual balls, which I think is too scary and it falls apart really easily. So I'm just gonna go with 2 and the mohair.
It's a lot of work.
It's working though, and I get gauged, and I might even go up a needle size, and you might too, because you're doing.
Yes, so I'm doing. We talked about the mohair mashup a few weeks ago, and I was going to originally do the Wintering by Alicia Plummer, but it's bottom up, and I am not a visual thinker, and so I can't visualize how it's going to look with the color change from the bottom up. And I know that I could like draw it out and color it. That's what my partner would tell me to do. He would say, have you drawn a picture yet?
I would do that too.
But I don't like that. So I switched. I'm just going to copy Jen, and we're going to do the Shaun together.
Yeah.
And because it is top down, so that way I can, I don't know, for some reason that feels better for my brain.
Yeah.
And so then I can, if I don't like the color, I can just whip it out and go. I think the flow from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Now that I'm saying it out loud, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it does. And this is a beautiful, did you see all the shaping? It's so interesting.
The shaping,
the way this is constructed, it looks very simple, but actually there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I like the,
and like the sleeve caps and like all this, there's a lot going on. So yeah, I'm really excited. And the people who have knit this love this sweater. So awesome.
Well, you've been talking about it since Rhinebeck.
Wild.
I'm influenced. I'm coming over.
Yeah, we're excited. So this is kind of technically our New Year cast-on because we might both be out of town next weekend. So we're starting it today.
Yay! Cast-on party!
Yay!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! So let's do a little check-in on where I'm at since that day. I'm slowly but surely making my way up to the short rows and a little bit of shaping. Like here is the shoulder section, and it's growing out of here with increases in ribbing, which is really fun. There's some really, it looks like a very simple sweater, but there's some really cool details that people love about this one. And I'm holding 2 yarns together, and let's talk about that. This is the ever so fragile but beautiful Prada Delana. It is called Criollo Queso, and I read about it on the website because I think that name is so great because they said it is named for how it looks like a wheel of cheese. And but they said it's the squishiest block of cheese wool that you will ever find. Made from 100% Criollo wool from Mexico. It's a true two-stranded wheel of unspun wool. So it's unspun. It is like cotton candy. So you have to be so careful not to pull or tug because it will kind of fall apart. But you just do the spit splice and rub it back together and it goes right back. So it hasn't really happened that often yet. It was happening more when I was swatching. And then once you're used to it, and I'm holding it with mohair for some strength, and I'm using the double strands. So at first I did swatch with just a single strand, but then I realized it is really wound so that the two strands come off together. So it's really smarter and better if you just use them as they're meant to be. Otherwise, you'd have to very carefully unwind this whole thing into two balls and do that to all the skeins, which is, I don't know, more than what I wanted to do. And I'm getting gauge with the double strand and the mohair helped with it. So it's totally working out. This is a very squishy, lightweight, but like kind of thick sweater. And so it's going to be beautiful, I think. But yes, so let me read about the wool again. So it can be knit single stranded for lighter weight, smaller gauge items, or two strands together for a larger gauge item. This is a pretty large gauge sweater. I think I'm knitting on US 7s. Yes, US 7s. That's the larger size needle where the main body of the sweater is knit with. And it creates a lofty, lightweight, feels like a cloud garment or accessory. It definitely has that feeling of just super light. And I got this yarn at Rhinebeck, which was one of my favorite purchases there. I really wanted to get something from Prado Delana. I've been wanting yarn from them forever. And so I had Shaun in mind when I bought this, and I only needed 4 of these. I think that might even be way too much. These have a ton of yardage, and they're only $15. So that was just like a no-brainer. And so I'm holding this with a strand of Isair silk mohair, which is a perfect match somehow. I got this online. I got this in person. And then at first I was just going to make the whole sweater just double stranded with this, but I really think it needs the mohair for the look. Like it's written to be held with mohair and to hold this very fragile yarn. It just makes it easier to knit, I think, and it gives it that nice halo. And so I could not have done a better job doing the color match. It looks fantastic. It feels really good. And I think I'm going to be super happy with this sweater with all the little fun details. And so I'm just getting into it, but I'm already loving it. Next, let's head over to Black Sheep Craft Shop for our New Year's Day hangout cast-on party. We had a blast. And so let's go check that out. And then I'll talk about what I cast on there. Happy New Year!
Hi! Happy New Year!
We're off to a knitting gathering.
Got our matching bags.
Yes, we have matching Mabel bags, which is kind of perfect for all our projects. We both have a lot going on.
Yeah.
We're casting on like multiple things on New Year's Day, but yeah, happy 2026!
Yay. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! We're going to Black Sheep Craft Shop again for a little New Year knitting party, which is the perfect way to start the year.
Yes.
I think.
Knitting unite.
Yay! So here we go. while I was knitting in the shop and over coffee, I have been working on my Maya light pullover by Helene Magnuson. This is in Fall Lopi, which is the DK weight Lopi. And I'm ever so slowly making my way through the colorwork chart, and I'm gonna love when I hit that stockinette and I can just go. But I love the sweater. I really want to get it done soon. It's been on my needle since October, and so I worked a little bit on this, which felt really good. And then I decided to cast on, and just barely, a new with the band sweater, which if you've been here a while, you know I've been talking about how I missed my black and white with the band original sweater that was like the first thing I designed for that. And then they took it and did a whole bunch of different colors. And then I made one in olive green with the highlighter yellow. And then I just want the black and white back. And so I'm making this for the new year, which won't take long, but I technically cast on New Year's Day, which is really fun. I would love to wear this to Vogue Knitting Live later this month. And if you're going, let me know in the comments, because maybe we'll bump into each other. But I think I just need this as a wardrobe staple. I know I'll wear the heck out of it. And so this is like a non-hurried project, but it won't take long. I'm thinking about like doing a video to see if I can knit it in a weekend. And so maybe I'll do that next weekend, but we'll see. And then my friends Anne and Kay from Modern Daily Knitting tempted me once again with their Bang Out a Sweater project. They do like a knit along, I think every February. I think it's usually during February, where they bang out a sweater, like you push through and try to knit the whole sweater in a month. And we do it all together. So some of my favorite sweaters, because I've done at least 2 of those with them. But it's been some of my favorite sweater projects ever. I did a Mary J. Mucklestone cardigan that was colorwork in Lopi. And I did my Crowberry sweater by Helene Magnuson before I even decided I was going to Iceland. I made that, and then I wore that in Iceland. And so this year it's going to be the Waffle Pullover by Amy Christoffers. And I already had the yarn, and I'm like, do I have time for this? I don't know, but I already have the yarn. And this is their new color. So this is Jane by Modern Daily Knitting. This is the suggested yarn that the design was made in. And this is their yarn, Jane by Modern Daily Knitting. It is beautiful. It is crisp, and it has this luster. I think it's the Masham. So it is 75% Falkland wool and 25% Masham, and it feels fantastic. The twist is amazing. It is bouncy. It has that luster. And for this sweater specifically, because it's textury, it is Mosaic knitting. For some reason, this yarn is seriously just perfect for this. And so I decided to swatch, and then I'm so dumb. I ripped out my swatch because I could have shown you that, but I'll show you Kay Gardner's swatch because we're using similar colors by accident. She is using this new color, Citronelle, which I had to use, obviously. And I am using, is this Shadow? Or am I thinking of my Gaptastic? Shadow. That's so funny. This is Shadow and Citronelle. And Kay is using Citronelle and I believe Earth, which is more brown. And I really love her combo actually after seeing her swatch. And I was like, oh, should I have done that? But I'm sticking to my plan. And so, yeah, I swatched and got gauge. I am starting with the neck, and then it gets intense. This pattern is notorious for, like, you have to pay attention. And if you can do all of this first section in one sitting, you try to do that because it's really easy to mess it up. They actually have a whole class if you want to join, you can just join the knit along. It's called Bang Out a Sweater 2026. Sorry. And we're doing the Waffle Pullover. You can just join and do it. You can use any yarn you want, or you can use Jane, which is amazing. But then they have an optional class that you can take as well, which goes through the pattern. I think it's like 3 sessions that are all 2 hours long, and it will kind of help you through some of the more tricky parts of it because it's the raglans and the short rows with the texture pattern and the mosaic knitting and the color switching. It can get a little confusing. And so for now, for the tricky part, I have gone ahead and written out each line of my directions for my size as best I can. So I'm going to try it first on my own. If I have trouble, I'm jumping in on that class and I'm going to take the awesome class and do it together with everybody, which is kind of nice. It's a community thing. It's a learning thing. It's a doing it together thing, which is like a big motivator too. And so we'll see, because I think it doesn't start till February. So I think they're starting maybe at the end of this month. But you have plenty of time to get yarn, to swatch. They suggest swatching in the round because the mosaic knitting, you kind of have to see it. Like you can't do it flat. So anyway, there's some prep involved. Go ahead and think about it now. You can jump in February and knit along with us. So those are my cast-ons from yesterday. I'm filming this on January 2nd. So yeah, with the band sweater in black and white, Shaun in my Prada de Lana from Rhinebeck, and my Jane sweater, the Waffle Pullover. And I think that's like a good variety of things. But I also, and I was going to keep this a secret, but I'm just going to say it. I very much want to write and design a Rhinebeck sweater using Sawkill Farms yarn, my favorite yarn. And so that's really been on my mind. And I've thought about stopping all these knitting things, like all these knit-alongs and things I want to do, and just pausing to design that. So I'm thinking about, but I'm really thinking about what I want it to be. Do I want texture? Do I want color work? What do I want this sweater to be? And so it's like there's very high expectations on my end because I want it to be amazing and perfect and super fun. But that is definitely on my brain. And I feel like I want to get this done early in the year and not rush it right like towards the end so that I can get it out way before Rhinebeck season and let people have time if they want to make one. And so, yeah, that's my secret confession of January 2026 is that I have high hopes to make a Rhinebeck sweater design for Rhinebeck 2026 in my favorite Sawkill yarn. It makes sense. It just makes sense. And I have to do it. Okay. I just got a very big, super fun package in the mail that I'm going to have to explain another time because part of this has to do with something Erica has and something that we might be doing simultaneously if it all works out. It's a long story and I will get into it when she and I reveal what this is at another time, maybe in a week or two, whenever we get together, we can like unveil what this is. But it was like, it has to do with something that Erica found. And then I went down a rabbit hole and then I found something else. And then it turned into us falling in love with this lady on eBay who has a Doberman rescue, and there's some really fun things in this package, and I will get into this another time. So stay tuned for the reveal of what this is because it's going to be interesting for sure. So it is January. It is planner season. And I want to know, do you love a planner? Do you love a journal? Do you love bullet journaling? Do you love recording like your knitting projects and your stash and your like details about your projects? Because I do. I love stickers. I love stamps. I love journaling. I love like the crafty side of it and like highlighters and just like jotting notes. And some of it doesn't even make sense, and that's okay. I love all of that. And so let me talk about planners. Did you know that I have a planner called the Knitting Planner? I barely ever talk about this, but it's actually one of my favorite things that I've ever done. So if you know me, if you've hung out here a while, you know I'm a graphic designer. And I worked in several publications over the years. I've laid out magazines for years and years, and books and journals and like really boring PDFs for insurance companies. I do all that stuff. But my favorite thing is doing my own book design, which I have done for several of my books. And then as I was doing that, I was like, gosh, I really wish I had a cool knitting planner to keep like project ideas, design ideas, notes about things that I'm working on, you know, like measurements of my family and friends and things like that, like for gift knitting, just keeping it all in one place, but it's also a planner. So I made that because there are other knitting planners. This is years and years old too. I did this when it was kind of a new idea. And so the thing that held me back though was I had to update it every year with all the new dates in the calendar. And that was what was slowing me down with keeping up with this. It actually really matches my sweatshirt, by the way. It's the same font, or no, it's close. Maybe it is the same font. Make Something Everyday sweatshirt, link below if you're wondering where this is from. This is a Raygun sweatshirt, same people that do my Knitting is Resistance t-shirts. Anyway, this is me. This is my knitting planner that I've had for a long time. And what I in recent years have decided to do is I keep it undated. So you can start this any time of the year. It doesn't have to be January, but it is conveniently January. So, but you can fill in your own dates and you can use this for any year you want. And that also means I don't have to keep updating the file with new dates on every calendar page. And so it makes it easier for me. So this is the undated knitting planner. So let's take a look inside because it is very Jen branded. There's black and white and yellow. There's quotes. There are big spaces for your daily planning notes and things like this. So this doesn't even have to be all knitting. It can be a regular planner too. But there is weekly pages of this type of planner with tons of space. I love white space. There's really fun photos and graph paper if you want to draw like charts or just doodle. There's also monthly spreads like this with tons of room. And again, you can write in your own dates and some graph paper on the side. And then there's all the weekly pages. Then my favorite spread is the project planner. So if you're planning a knitting project, like what I'm doing right now with all these projects that I'm casting on all at once, there's a spot to put your project name, notes, start date, due date, checklist, anything you want to include here, and some graph paper. This is an invaluable page. And since I have the file, I print this for myself just in pages where I can do it on my own. But how wonderful is this for anything you're planning, even a sweater you're like looking for yarn for, you can put some of the details in here, throw it in your bag, and you've got all that with you. I love the project planning pages. Then there's more photos and more graph paper because I love graph paper and I love sketching on graph paper and just drawing little doodles or maybe color work ideas. And then we go to the next month. So it has all of this for the whole year and it goes on and on. And there's really beautiful photographs in there from my awesome photographer and from some of my last books. And so there's like really fun little pages stuck in there that are just kind of interesting and fun to look at. They're all knitting related. And yeah, you go through. So there's project planning pages in each month, regular, weekly, lots and lots of space to write down your stuff and your schedule. And then the monthly pages so you can see month at a glance. And then the fun photo page next to the graph paper. And then in the back, and I shortened this a little bit. It used to be even longer and there used to be way more stuff, but we have a brainstorm page where you can just jot things out. Maybe you want a pros and cons list, a brainstorm list of just anything. Here is another project planning page, just a place to put notes next to more graph paper. Stephen West let me put this in here. He said, more is more and less is a bore. Yeah, he like gave me permission to include that. Next, this beautiful yellow and gray project planning page or a list page. You can put lists in here. Like I just love pages like that where there's room to write stuff down and it just looks cool too. Here's a great pros and cons page that I made into triangles where you can, weigh your feelings on something. Dreams and ideas. You can write anything in here. Notes, but it's a lot of yellow, black, and white. I love it so much. It's graphic and cool. A little Vans inspired page next to a knitting needle conversion chart and a place to record all your measurements for friends and family and yourself if you want to. Isn't that nice? And then knitting pattern abbreviations and projects I want to knit. So I bookmark this section in my personal planner. And this is my to knit list for the year. So I've got lots of pages of the projects I want to knit. So you can record all the details about that. Pattern name, needle size, yarn name, yarn weight, yardage required for my size, the most important detail, especially if you're going to like a fiber festival or something, you're gonna shop, and then gauge and notes. So that is for every project. There's 3 per page, and there's a lot of these pages. And then we have the knitting graph paper in the back, a few pages of that. And then is that the end? Anyway, it's kind of the best knitting planner out there, in my opinion. I never talk about it. I always forget. I use one in my personal life, but then I forget like other people might want this. So go check it out if you want. It's on jengeigley.com and it's also on Amazon. So thank you for checking out my planner. Also, I just ordered 2 of these, and so I'm going to give one away on my Instagram. So go head over to Jen Geigley on Instagram and you can enter to win a knitting planner. Another separate type of planner I want to start this year is the scrap journal. Have you seen these? I don't know why. I really, really love this. I think it's because in my past life, I was a huge scrapbooker. Like I was on scrapbooking teams and got paid by scrapbooking companies to make scrapbook pages. This was a real thing. Like, do you remember the height? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you do. There was a time, early 2000s, I think is like when it really hit. And then it was really big when my kids were babies, which was perfect for me because I was making scrapbooks. Like I was going for it. So what I'm getting at is this is going to be a scrap journal. And I'm sure you've seen this like on TikTok or on your Instagram reels, whatever videos. You take a little punch, which I don't have right here, but it's like a little postage stamp sized punch. And you punch like out of your recycling or some little paper thing that you had that day or a package of a wrapper of something you ate. And you line them all up and glue them with a glue stick in your pages, and you have a whole record of your year in little scraps. I don't know why, but I love this idea. So this is just for that. And this is also for drawings and doodles and pattern ideas, like my Rhinebeck sweater that I am brainstorming, like what could be in that. And I will draw that stuff in here, but also in here. But I just like to have multiple places to do that. And I love a yellow journal, and these are the absolute best. And it's just kind of fun to have a fresh one in January. That is all I have for today. It's a fresh start to a new year, a new month. I've got all these brand new cast-ons and I'm not sad about any of it. I don't feel guilty at all. I love a fresh start with a whole bunch of new projects. It's not a bad thing. It's fun. Knitting is supposed to be fun. Tell me in the comments what you're casting on in January. And what you're working on, because I love having that conversation in the comments and I love seeing what everybody else is working on, so let us know. I upload a new video every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, so come hang out with me next week and we'll see what else is going on. Maybe we'll get to open the secret package from eBay with Erica. We will see. And thanks for hanging out here with me. Please take care, stay cozy, happy knitting, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.